So basically, if you don't know, a long time ago, I made this video titled Playbuzz Tutorial How to Create Your Own Quizzes. Now, this information is pretty outdated now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically recreate that video. So yeah, we're going to jump right in. I have a quiz that is already underway. It is titled, Which MLP Character Are You? So this is my profile, so to speak, on Playbuzz. I got several different quizzes on here. You know, the one that I did for the original tutorial, a couple other stuff that I added here. This is basically this thing. You can follow me if you want. It's at Danny Ball Sub. You don't have to, but I'm going to be making more quizzes in the future. I don't know why I stopped. I stopped literally right after the Pokemon one, which is the one that blew up. So I'm gonna continue, and I have this one called Which MLP Character Are You, which is what we're gonna work on together today. So basically, to find you know how to create your own thing, you can just load up playbuzz.com or whatever. It's gonna bring you to this page right here, and you have to create an account if you want to create a Playbuzz quiz or whatever. So create yourself an account and hit this create button up here in the corner, and it's going to bring you to another page where it's going to ask you about, hey, do you want to make this, or this right here? So what's your story? Do you want to make a story, a personality quiz, a poll, flip card, list, trivia, video, ranked list, convo? I may or may not do videos about these other ones in the future, so if you want to see that, I guess go ahead and leave a comment if you want to learn a little bit more about, you know, what a flip card is and what lists are and videos and stuff like that on Playbuzz are. If you want to see any of that, let me know in the comments below. But today we're going to be doing the Playbuzz personality quiz. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit create. I'm not going to do it right now because I already have one that's set up. So you're going to hit create, and when you do, it's going to bring you. The first thing it's going to bring you to is the results page, because it's what you want to do first, technically. So what you can do is you can hit this. This is usually blank. You can hit something here, and when you do so, it will pop up a thing. Here, I'll show you kind of an example of that. Basically, it would be blank, something like this. It would be different color, but you would type in whatever you want, like, oh, okay, here's the result. Here's the answer of the result. This is what the result would be. And if you wanted to add a picture to it, you would hit this camera up here in the corner, and you could upload one from your computer or one from the web. I don't recommend doing this because it's actually really difficult to get that to work. So what I usually do is I just go to Getty Images and I'll type in whatever, for example, flying or something, and then stuff will show up on here. You can press whatever you want. Once you choose what you want, it'll automatically load up on there and it will cover it up. But anyway, the first thing it's going to bring you to is the results page. You're going to type in whatever you want. For example, the first result I thought of for this was Fluttershy, so I just went ahead and grabbed this image and used it. There's a thing up here. It's going to say edits, so you just edit whatever the result is. It's going to basically the title of your result, which is Fluttershy. Then basically the description of what that means. So Fluttershy, if you got Fluttershy, it meant Fluttershy is a shy, timid character that is a force to be reckoned with. If it gets mad, are you the same? But basically, if you got Fluttershy, then it means you're most likely shy, timid character that's a force to be reckoned with if you're ever mad. After that, there's going to be a thing down here that says call to action. I'm not 100% sure what this does. It's definitely a new thing. Everything up here is new. That's why I'm kind of revisiting the tutorials, because everything's new. But I'm not sure what the call to action is, because all it lets you do is enter text. I haven't tried to enter a link there or anything. I might do that in the future for another tutorial or something. But right now, it seems like you can't really do anything, and it just has this arrow pointing down. When you actually preview your thing, it just has this arrow and a message on it. So I just went ahead and was like, be sure to subscribe. I did that a couple times, but for the most part, they're kind of unique. For example, here, let's choose Luna, for example. It says, the nightmare is over, just a random quote. I decided to use this call to action as a little fun thing to add a little bit of extra flavor to the result. Basically is what I'm using it for, but I'm not really sure what the actual purpose of it is. I think it may have something to do with, like, hey, call to action, like, hey, subscribe, that sort of thing. Anyway, moving on. Once you get all your results, I have a handful here. I have like 11, 12, something like that on here, which includes the main 6 plus a handful of other characters. So anyway, once you get as many as you want questions up here, and it will bring you to questions, and you can start filling out questions and stuff. So for example, the first question I put on here was, are you outgoing? I decided to attach this lovely Getty image of people that seem to have some sort of group event going on. So that's what I did, and it puts your question down here in this this bottom left corner. Then you can just simply hit add answer, type in whatever the heck you want, and then once you've typed in what you want, you can go over here to it's going to say match results. This is a skip question, so I'll get into that in a minute. But basically, once you type in whatever you want, so for example, the end, I can hit match results and then choose what I want to contribute to the result. So right now I have a handful of stuff on here. Like I said, I have a lot. So for example, if I wanted the end to contribute to Fluttershy, I would just hit highly related to Fluttershy, or if I wanted it to only sort of contribute to Fluttershy, I would say neutral Fluttershy. Or I can leave everything blank and use it as a means to skip things, which is what I've done for this question here. Let's go ahead and delete this. Now, if you ever enter something in here, like add answer, you can always just hit this X next to it, and that will delete it immediately. It doesn't even give you a prompt. Yeah, try to not accidentally press it because it's gone. You're going to have to completely re-enter everything. So, for example, I have I'm going to go ahead and give you the answers for the first one, so I can give you a little bit of an example. But basically, what I have in here, I have a handful of answers on here. So let's say you hit yes. What that's going to do is that's going to contribute to Discord, Rarity, Trixie, Rainbow Dash, and Pinkie Pie. Definitely Pinkie Pie, a little bit of Trixie, Discord and Rarity. I try to get the characters that are kind of known for being outgoing, so to speak. So, for example, Trixie is a performer, so clearly she would be outgoing. Rainbow Dash is pretty outgoing because she's an athlete. She's Wonderbolt and everything. Pinkie Pie is, well, there's no more outgoing than she is. And Discord is, well, Discord, so of course he's outgoing. Fluttershy is shy, so obviously that doesn't apply to her. So again, leaving that same example, I say no, so I'm not outgoing. Then that's going to result in Fluttershy definitely, a little bit of Discord because chaos. Luna is no. Starlight is no. And I may change some of this later on, so some of this may not be accurate to what you do when you go and play this, so you're probably not getting that many spoilers. Anyway, so question 10. Let's create a question together. So there's two different ways to put up your answers. You can add your answers, or you can add pictures as your answers. Now, they're answers no matter what. You can choose to attach an image to your answer. Now, there's no way to mix this. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think there used to be a way that you could. But right now you can't. So you're just going to hit add answer. You're going to type in either Earth, let's say Earth or whatever. Let's say choose an element is the question. Choose an element. And then I'll type in Earth. I don't have to type in anything here, but I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to hit this camera here, and it's going to bring this up once again. And once again, you can grab images from Getty Images. You can grab some emojis, apparently. I don't really do that. I don't recommend doing that. Upload. This will upload it directly from your computer. So if I hit upload and then hit right here or whatever, it's going to bring up stuff from here. This is my fandom folder where I have a bunch of different pictures and stuff from different fandoms that I'm a part of. But basically, you can put anything in here you want. And I'm going to go ahead and put in something here. So I'm on Getty Images. So what it's going to do is going to pop up a bunch of images related to your search. And then you're going to choose one. So I'm just going to choose this lovely 3D polygon Earth, and that's now a result. So if I went through this quiz and got to this point, this is what I would see. I'll show you a preview later, and then I'll just kind of cut out different parts so you don't get too many spoilers. But basically, here you go, Earth. So that's one element. So we need another element. So let's say water. We'll open up Getty Images again and hit water. As soon as it loads, based on how good your internet is, obviously it upload better. So you can just choose any of these images that you like. So that's water. So while that loads, I can actually, while it's loading, you can actually add more results. So let's say fire. You're probably wondering, okay, how many results is enough results? Like how many answers are enough answers? And basically, there's no real answer to how many answers there should be. Now, a good rule of thumb is if you have a lot of results, for example, I have a ton of results on here, so I need a lot of answers for questions. That's why, like for example, how does this how does this make you feel? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different things on it, which only 7 of them matter because one of them is a skip. But anyway, you want to put as many as you possibly can for each of them, because you have a lot of results, because you want to try and even this out to where it's more accurate. Just go ahead and match results. So I have my answers up here. Just hit match results, and again, it's going to bring this up, and you're going to match it to what you think is accurate. So Earth, that really matches to Fluttershy because she's really earthbound. She loves animals, nature, that sort of thing. Applejack is an earth pony, so obviously that would match to her. Pinkie Pie, you could argue that okay, she's an earth pony too, but that's earth really isn't kind of her element. So we'll skip the rest of them. That should be enough. Once you're done here, you can just hit done, and that will save your matches, and it will show you on here that 2 are matched to this answer. So that tells you that if someone picks this result right here, that they will get a potential, like 2 different things that are going to contribute to the final result. So basically, if you chose Earth, it's going to contribute highly to Fluttershy and highly to Applejack. To make your quiz as good as possible, I would have like 11 different options here. For each one would contribute just once to one of the characters. So for example, if I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different characters, I would have it match 1 to each. So for example, if I had the main 6, this would be Applejack, this would be Rainbow Dash, this would be Twilight, this would be Fluttershy or Pinkie Pie, this would be the other 2. It would feel more accurate to the person taking the quiz. And basically, that's how you do this. If I change my mind halfway through, adding these images or whatever, as long as I wrote something down here, I can switch over to this and it will just stay like this. It's defaulted to this, but if I, for some reason, decided to go in and change it, I can change it whenever I want. I can finish this entire quiz, then go back and change whatever I want to pictures instead, or I can go back and change it to, the classic results if I want to. Now, something else you may have noticed is that you have all these different options, so I can strike through whatever I want. So I can strike through this if I wanted to for some reason. I could underline a word, I could italicize a word, or I could bold a word. And I can just bold literally just that one letter if I really wanted to. Just to really mess with people, I can do all of these things to it all at once. But again, that's not really something I recommend because it's not really doing much. Now, of course, there are situations where it would be really nice to bold a specific word or italicize a specific word or underline something or strike through something or even add an emoji. Again, I don't really like the emoji aspect of this. There used to be a way for you to rearrange your answers. I don't know if what they do now is they just randomize it every single time. There used to be an option in Playbuzz where you could set up your quiz and then have it to where it's exactly that same way every time, so the list of answers are the same every time. They're in the same order every time. I don't know if they still do that anymore, but there's no option for it anymore. So a couple things. Your start screen is the last thing you're going to do. This is going to be your title, which basically I put a header up here, which is the same thing as the title. So once you do this, you're going to need a personality quiz title. So tell us more about this quiz. So you're just going to hit in. You're going to type in whatever. I didn't want to type it in because I don't want to type it in twice. Then you're going to, that's it. That's everything. You're going to go ahead and add your image because, of course, you want an image for this. Now it's loaded. So this is what people are going to see when they first come to your quiz. You're going to see this image that you've uploaded yourself or got from Getty Images or wherever you got it. It doesn't matter. Which MLP, and then you're going to see your title, which is which MLP character are you. Then they're going to see this description. And last thing you need to do is go through all of your stuff. Make sure everything is pretty much how you want it. Make sure you have all your results on there. Make sure everything is good enough. One more thing that I want to tell you before I go into like previewing everything and stuff like that is this button up here basically changes how the color of everything. It changes this right here. This will be blue if I turn this blue. This will be red if I turn it blue or red, which is what I've done. Also, your questions are defaulted to be red background. They're not defaulted to that, but whatever color you've chosen is what their default is. So keep that in mind as you make the quiz. You're probably going to choose images for everything. Maybe you won't, maybe you will. You need to preview it because you need to make sure it's kind of working. You need to make sure that you have everything the way you want it. Make sure there's nothing misspelled as you're previewing it. So you just hit this preview button up here, and it's going to preview. It's going to act like you're coming here for the first time ever. It doesn't like you don't know anything about the quiz. You can preview it in tablet mode, a mobile mode, whichever mode you want. I'm going to do it in desktop mode because it it looks better for screen, whatever. So you're just going to hit this let's start, and like I said, this is what it's going to look like when someone else comes to your quiz. This stuff over here is going to be like related quizzes or comments or whatever. That stuff doesn't matter. That's why this is blank right now, because this is a preview. Anyway, it's going to have your title here and your everything. So let's just go ahead and start. And it's going to bring you to the very first question. So now it's going to calculate your results, and this is what I'm saying is like it's going to show you what everyone else would see. So here we go. My result is Starlight. So magic is the answer. That's just like a little quote. This is supposed to be like the call to action, which again I'm not sure what it does because I can't click on it or do anything with it. But yeah. There you go. Once you're done previewing your draft, you can finish previewing whenever you want. Like you can get through the first question and be like, oh, I want to change that, or oh, I got an idea. Let me go back and edit it. You don't have to go through the entire quiz to do it. This X up here, you can just press this X right up here in this corner next to publish, and it will exit out of the preview, and it'll just bring you to wherever you were when you hit preview. This is a little bit of a project. It looks like I did this in about 10 minutes or whatever, but this actually took me, an hour or two because I was trying to gather a bunch of different questions that I could come up with, a bunch of different pictures that I had to find, hunt for. Yeah, just all kinds of stuff like that. As you saw earlier, I had this whole thing set here. I didn't like it because it kind of shows what looks like some kind of meteorological event. I don't want to use this anymore, so I can always edit it, crop it, replace it, or delete it. I'm going to delete it, but first I want to show you some stuff like cropping. So I can crop this image. I can crop it this way or this way. This isn't a really good example of a picture, but I can definitely shrink this down and choose like just this orange spot if I really wanted to, which is what I'm going to do. And it will crop it down to that size, and that's what it's going to look like instead. But I can hit this replace button and replace it with another image. I can hit an edit button. Okay, I remembered that I did that. And then I can paint it and do all kinds of weird stuff to it if I want to. It doesn't look like there's a reverse. But there's return. I can put in text if I wanted to. Return. I can put in emojis if I want to, stickers if I want to, all that sort of stuff. What I want to do though is I want to just delete the entire image. So now this image is blank. It's gone. It's never coming back. Actually, it can come back if I just hit this camera in the corner. But anyway, that's how you if you want to go back and change some stuff. That's a way you can. So that's that. Then we're just gonna hit publish. It's publishing. This thing is going to show up as if you've done everything right. It's going to say publishing up here. Okay, so it's published. Now take your story anywhere. So here's what you can do. This code, you don't really need to worry about this code. So show stories, cover image, title, description, and author. Yes, I want that displayed because I want all that shit displayed. Shares will link to your domain. I guess that's fine. Let's do that as well. So let's go ahead and copy the link. I like to copy the link, that way I can grab it and email it to friends or text it to friends or just post it on Twitter or something so other people can see it. Once this is published, you can track performance immediately for some reason. I don't know why. But this is it. Pretty much, you don't really need to worry about anything else. Once that's done, you can just hit this X out here. This is done. I can go to my profile now. So it's all ready. Now you may notice this direct link only. What happens is when you publish a quiz, you're given this link, and that's why I was saying, like, look, you want to grab the link now. You're not screwed if you don't grab the link. You can always grab it later. You can just hit the share button, or I'm pretty sure you can just click on it and copy and paste that or whatever. Or you can always just copy and paste your username up here or whatever, and people will bring to all your quizzes. Anyway, what happens is it goes to direct link only, which means you can only share it via the link. Now, eventually, after a little bit of curation or whatever, Playbuzz will make it public for everyone to see. For example, these, as you can see, it says public now. That's because these have already went through. These are like really old. Like this is happening back in 2016. After a while, it's gonna become public. I don't remember if they email you or not. I don't think they do. I think it's just like something you just kind of keep track of and eventually look back at. So that's it. Now we can just go ahead and click on this, and even though it's direct link only, people can find it. Like if you give them the link, they go to it, they're able to play the game, the quiz or whatever. But here you go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, do all of those wonderful things, because when you do those wonderful things, you get access to even more wonderful things. So make sure you do that.